Welcome to Sage Audio. Today let's look at how to mix kick and 808. But first, if you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Creating 808 with Sublab. One of the easiest ways to create an 808 quickly and to cycle through various tones is with the Sublab plugin, which combines a kick sample with a synth. Then you can introduce saturation and compression within the plugin, as well as filtering and adjust the levels and timing. Now in the synth section, we can affect the ADSR, as well as change between sine, triangle, saw, and square waves. Now I bring this plugin up first since it shows us all of the elements that go into mixing an 808 and helps to illustrate that a kick sample is combined with a synth and specific processing to achieve the intended sound. So let's take a listen to some presets that this plugin offers, and keep in mind that we'll be recreating this through various means in future chapters. Creating 808 with Omnisphere. The popular plugin Omnisphere shows us how we could use a sample supporting synth to layer kick samples, synths, or various waveforms, and processing. Now for example, I can import a kick sample that has the tone or the timbre that I want, and then enable a second layer. I'll use this layer to trigger a sine wave or maybe an emulation of a classic synth or piece of hardware. Then I can blend the two signals. The ADSR section will let me make the sine wave or synth longer or shorter, meaning I can time it to the BPM. Lastly, in the FX section, we could introduce distortion, saturation, or whatever we want. Now in this case, I just inserted a saturation plugin on my channel strip to create a cohesive sound. Let's take a listen. If you're enjoying the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and it helps us bring you more videos. Layering kick and external synth. Now sometimes a synth won't give us the option to import samples, meaning we'll have to combine the synth aspect of the instrument with a kick sample in our DAW. So if I'm using this Serum synth, I can select a bass preset to get started, or I could pick some waveforms. Then after dialing in the sound that I want, I could introduce a kick sample, in this case a free kick sample from Spitfire Audio, and then blend the synth in with this kick. Now I'll make adjustments as needed and process the kick or the synth if I want to add some distortion or some compression. So let's take a listen to the same kick sample being used, but with various bass synths to understand how they collectively create an 808. Free kick sample sourcing. The kick has just as much of an impact on the overall sound as the synth. That said, if we want to have a lot of kicks to choose from, we could always go to YouTube and find free and open source kick samples before downloading them with a site like YouTube to MP3. Now, after downloading it, we could import the kicks into our session and layer them with a bass synth. So let's take a listen to a few free kick samples combined with the same synth so that we can get a better understanding of how the kick changes the timbre of the overall 808. Creative kick sample sourcing. If you want a unique sound, don't feel obligated to stick with traditional kick samples. Now anything with an aggressive attack will work. Furthermore, we could edit just about any sample to work well if we change the pitch, the ADSR, frequency response, and more, depending on what we're trying to achieve. For this example, I found free open source samples of thunder, a punch, an explosion, and a stomp, and then processed them with an EQ and short reverb. Now these definitely aren't the best demos, but they should give you an idea of how you can combine creative samples with synths to make a unique 808. Clearing room for kick with EQ. If the synth aspect is covering up too much of the kick sample, we could use an EQ to find where they overlap and then attenuate frequencies on the synth to give the kick some more room. Now with this shade EQ, I'll sidechain my kick and then observe the spectrums. I'll dip the kick's fundamental, in turn giving it more room whenever both the synth and the kick play. So let's take a listen and notice how the kick has a lot more room. Sidechain compression on 808. In addition to an EQ, or instead of an EQ, we could use sidechained compression to create some room for the kick. Now I'll place the compressor on the synth and then sidechain the kick. This way, whenever the kick hits, the synth will be attenuated. This gives the kick some space to occupy and gives us more control than the EQ, as we can now control the ADSR of the attenuation using the attack, the range, hold, and release. Let's take a listen and notice how the kick has more room, similar to last chapter. If you're enjoying the channel, use the search box to watch more of our videos. Lengthening the attack of the synth. This last way to blend a synth and a kick is probably the simplest. All you really need to do is increase the attack of the oscillator. As a result, the sine wave or whichever waveform the synth is generating will start later, either in the middle or right after the kick sample. This lets the kick cut through and then allows it to be followed by the synth. Let's take a listen. Saturation and compression on an 808. If we created an 808 with a synth track and a kick sample, we could change both their outputs to a collective bus. Now on this bus, we could introduce compression, saturation, maybe upward processing, or anything we want to collectively affect the sound of the 808. Let's take a listen to these processors being enabled and notice how it creates a full, impressive, and cohesive sound. Clipping on 808 and kick. Last up, let's create a really aggressive sound for our 808 by collectively processing the synth and the kick with a clipper. Now I'll use the Saturate plugin and change the clip type to hard before driving the input into the clipper and adjusting the detail slider. This will add some white noise whenever the clipper is hit, making for an aggressive 808. Let's take a listen. If you have a mix that you need mastered, send it to us to receive a free mastered sample of it with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching.